So, Orange County lost again to Monterey Bay, third time this season, twice in league play, once in cup play. And yeah, that's not something that should be happening for a team that has aspirations of making a deep playoff run. I mean, I guess let alone making the playoffs is now what we got to start talking about. Is this team going to be able to do that? We're getting to that point of the season. We're going to talk about the match this past weekend. We're going to look ahead to what's coming up next for Orange County, plus more. Let's get this show started. Welcome to the Show of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only show dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. I'm your host, Ray Samora. I'm here to take you through this journey as we discuss all things Orange County Soccer Club. And if you notice, I'm here. Last week, I gave myself a self-imposed red card, but because Dylan's not here and my two fellow co-hosts tonight aren't comfortable opening the show, I just came back. I overturned the red card on myself. First person helping me out in this, and the first person that was scared to do the intro, Brad. Brad, how are we doing?
Scared is a very strong word. Just unwilling would be the word that I would use here.
Unwilling is a nice term for scared. Right, Larry? If we get Larry on board. Let's bring Larry on. There he is.
Hey, there I am. Scared? I'm not actually afraid of anything, except the occasional spider.
So then you're fine if I reinstate the red card and I'm gone for this episode, that you and Brad handle this whole episode yourselves, the two of you?
There's nothing that the entirety of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast Nation would like more
than to get rid of me.
Did I say? I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like a hashtag related to all of that.
Yeah,
hashtag Samora out. I haven't seen that hashtag on social media as much, so it's not a trending hashtag. And I like what Josh had to say in the chats early on in this show. We can only go up from here. And I think he was referencing Orange County Soccer Club, but it could be a also double reference and referencing the show. We can only go up from this point of the show. Let's talk about what happened this past weekend, which I think we were all starting to get excited, thinking maybe this is the Orange County we would see heading through the remainder of the season, and then we take another stumble. Orange County loses on the road at Monterey Bay, or it was in Seaside at Monterey Bay, however you want to say it. Not the greatest looking of matches. They lose 2-1. And I think that scoreline probably is nice for Orange County. Brad, what are your thoughts on Orange County's performance this past Friday, I guess it was, against Monterey Bay?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think we're lucky to get out of that match only with a 1-goal differential. Very much in the mindset that the team played 2 games. The first game was they just weren't present. They were AFK in the brain. I don't know what was going on with them. The second one, they played a lot better, albeit down a man from a very controversial red card.
And I got to ask you, Larry, what does AFK stand for?
Well, anytime you put an F into anything, you know what word I'm going to use, but I can't say that on the air, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it would be wrong. I just have to put that out there because I'm sure we have some demographics
away from keyboard.
That is exactly what it means. He had to look it up. We saw you typing away there to look for it.
My hands are right here. I didn't look it up.
Then you have Grayson there whispering in your ear.
Grayson's at work.
Larry.
Yes.
Let me ask you, Larry, what were your thoughts on this match from Orange County? Is there anything that you saw that you think went well for them, or was this just a total cluster mess on the road again?
I mean, the game wasn't a complete train wreck. There were moments, very, very few of them. I mean, Nico Benalcalar's goal was a great goal. It was fantastic. That feed from Usman was absolutely beautiful. But, Brad's right. It was a tale of two different games. It reminded me of I once went out and I played golf at Aliso Viejo, and on the front nine I shot 55, and on the back nine I shot 39. So it was this was a 55, 39, 18-hole golf game. We played really well for that last 20 minutes when we were down a man. He even had a couple of attacking moments, but man, that first 70 minutes was rough. Well, wasn't enjoyable to watch, frankly.
Well, and part of what made it rough as an Orange County fan watching this match was the straight red card that was shown to midfielder Stephen Kelly. We were talking about this. I think Orange County fans all over have been talking about this since that match, as far as should it have been a straight red? Did it deserve any kind of card? I'm of the opinion, yes, a card was valid there because there was contact to the face, but there's no malicious, there's no intent to go to the face. If you watch any soccer match, players, that's how they shield other players if they're trying to shield it and let it go out of play, or if they're just trying to shield for hold up play. So I think a yellow card, yes, or a straight red, that's quite harsh. Brad, do you agree with me that that was a harsh card?
Yeah, very harsh in my opinion. Like, agreed. That's at least at the very minimum a yellow card. No ifs, ands, or buts. A
Well,
red card
let's say
is
this: at the very maximum, a yellow card. That's what I would say. But go for it, Brad.
I
Keep
don't
going.
know. I feel like you got to give a yellow card there. We were on the receiving side of the exact opposite a week prior, where a player definitely should have gotten a red card and did get a red card. This one, same motion, but less, if not any, contact. I think you give a yellow for the motion. I don't blame the ref for giving a red, but I don't agree with it.
And then we go to MC Bearded One. I believe the quote is "Yellow all day, no red, no way." Well, I guess that's your thoughts, Larry. But do you have more to throw onto that?
No, I think that says it all. I didn't even mean to rhyme, but apparently I did. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, that's not a red card, and we all know that I'm the least technically inclined person when it comes to this beautiful game. But I know the difference between a red card and a yellow card, and that's a yellow card, certainly, absolutely. You can't give a straight red on that. There's no way. If the guy's already sitting on a yellow, then maybe you give him a second yellow and then you send him off. But straight red, no. Terrible decision.
And if I can recall, and either of you can correct me if I'm wrong,
Happily.
I believe in the match when the foul initially occurred and the ref is reaching for a card, at least from what you hear from the broadcasters on the stream, it sounded like the ref was going for the yellow, and maybe 5 seconds later decided mid grab for a card to switch to a different pocket. So it's either he just forgot which pocket had which card, or something happened. Someone said something, whether it's an AR in the earpiece or one of the players from Monterey Bay said something. So I guess part of the frustration on this is the ref sort of seemed to think this was a yellow card, and he heard something from someone, whether it's, again, the AR player from Monterey Bay that changed his mind. Do you recall? Does that sound familiar, or am I just making things up at this point?
I got nothing for you on
Brad?
this one, Ray.
Okay. Brad, I mean, do you recall that, or am I just totally making stuff up?
No, I have no idea what exactly happened there.
Okay. I feel like, again, listening to the stream, which, hey, I'm excited that the stream was on like television, not just streaming. I mean, it was on ESPN2, which was really cool to happen, even though we almost missed the kickoff because of lacrosse going on. But yeah, I recall it sounded like maybe it was going to be a yellow, and then the ref somehow, some way decided to change his mind. Let me ask you this, Brad. Does that impact this match? Does Orange County have a better end to this match if they're full strength and Stephen Kelly more than likely is on the pitch still?
I don't know, because I think we were lucky to get our goal from Benalcazar, and although that was a highlight, I think we played better down a man. I think there was more urgency in the team. Uh, I don't know if we allow the second goal, or no, the second goal happened before the red card, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, I don't know. because whatever pep talk happened afterwards, the team played better.
I mean, that tends to be the case when a team gets a red card and they're down a man. The team usually in that situation focuses a little bit harder, at least initially. Maybe it dies off because you do that initial sort of emotional momentum for 10-15 minutes, and then you go back to now, oh, I'm down a man and we're tired, we're exhausted, we tried to fight it so hard. I'm under the impression, I feel like if Stephen Kelly's there, or at least we have a full 11 on the pitch. Yes, we did go down with the full 11 on the pitch, and then we got the red card. I think that red card took any possible chance from this team, like any even thought process from Orange County that they could somehow equalize again. Larry, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know if I would agree with that. Again, I don't feel like the team overall played particularly well this game, so I don't know that having the 11th man on the pitch is going to make that much of a difference in this particular case, in this particular game. It was a bad game. They happen. Don't want to see them happen. But let's keep something in mind. There are 34 games in the season. We've only played 14. It seems like more because of all the cup games, but only played 14 games. We're not halfway. We're not at the midpoint yet. We got 3 more games till we hit the midpoint. So plenty of time. No need to panic yet. Ask me again at game 17.
So what you're saying is there's still a chance.
Of course,
Now,
there's a chance.
what are your thoughts if somehow, some way we make the playoffs and so does Monterey Bay and we have to face them? Are you confident that we can get the victory in the fourth match against Monterey Bay, Brad?
One game at a time, baby. That's how the playoffs work. And
All
we've
right.
seen some crazy things where 8 seeds win the cup. Like, I believe it was,
Phoenix.
a couple of years ago, Monarchs did that. Phoenix, there you go. That's the team.
You're welcome.
I think Monarchs were
I'm gonna
also a lower seeded team.
we really don't want to use the term Phoenix in here. That's just I still don't I don't know why. I know it's been a long time. I don't think that rivalry is the same, but yeah, let's not even talk about them. Any whatsoever bright spot in this match from Orange County for you, Larry? Player, something you saw?
Actually, yes. Something I've been trying to keep a little bit of a watch on. I feel like there's a lot of times where we give the ball away way too much. I mean, like from the midfield, from the backside, from all over the place, we give the ball away too much. So the last couple of games, I've been paying attention to the stat trackers, and passing in this game, we completed like 85% of our passes. Our guys on the back line, Tom, Vuk, Nico, between the 3 of them, they completed approximately 92% of their passes. And that's terrific. And that's what we got to do. I mean, if you can't take care of the ball, then you can't move from the back and from the mid, then you can't get it up to your forwards, and you can't put the ball in the back of the net. So I feel like the team has been doing a really good job with taking care of the ball the last couple of games. And that's my positive takeaway from this game. So good job there, guys. Let's do something better though here in the next game.
Brad, I'll ask you the same question.
Yeah, I mean, I think the team didn't look horrible for that last 20 minutes during that 39 on Larry's back half there. I think it was a good 20 minutes. I think the creativity showed and the team definitely was playing the part, but it's still, not good enough. And you're seeing some injuries start piling up. I know the team announced today that Liam McKinnon is going to be gone for some significant time. We believe with a leg injury sustained in practice. So it's going to be a little bit before the team levels out. Someone's got to step up still, though.
Yeah, and for me, that person that I really would love to see step up is Stephen Kelly, but unfortunately, with that straight red, he's going to have to wait an extra match. Hopefully, I believe it was just a 1 match. It wasn't one of those ones where you get a 3-match suspension, but I haven't looked it up, so I apologize for not being ready for that. But yeah, that's disappointing for me because we really need that creativity. I feel like I've been really impressed, and I've really liked what I've seen from him in some of his distribution. I know we talked about it last week. There was a pass that he made that almost led to a goal that I thought was just a beautiful pass, and we've seen a couple others from him in a short time. So we'll have to wait and see how that all turns out. So after the results in this match, that puts Orange County, they're sitting 10th in the Western Conference, which puts them outside of the playoff hunt. The good thing, though, and I think some of the people in the chat have been talking about this, and Larry talked about it, there's still a lot of matches left in the season. And really, if you look at the standings, Orange County is 6 points away from being fourth place in the Western Conference. I believe the broadcasters this past match were even talking about how compact the standings are and the teams are in the Western Conference, where literally if you're at the bottom of the table, which is where defending champs Colorado Springs are currently sitting, you still have life. I mean, it's so tight. I believe if you go from Colorado Springs in last place at 15 points to top of the table in the West, San Antonio at 27 points, that's a 12-point difference from top to bottom. That's very, very compact, very tight. You look at the Eastern Conference, top of the table is 38 points, bottom of the table is 11 points. So it's a more than double difference on the Eastern Conference. So we've talked about this for years, is the Western Conference just is very competitive, and there's no pushovers usually in the Western Conference. Every match is a battle. Every match can be won or lost. And that's how good the Western Conference is. Larry, it looks like you have something to say.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, San Antonio's sitting on 27. We are sitting on 17, like you just said. That's a 10-point difference. But we have 2 games in hand on San Antonio. We get both of those wins, we're 3 points off of them. So this is not, again, I'm just going to reiterate, I'm not even remotely concerned right now about the performance of the team. I want to see them do better, and I absolutely believe in my heart that they're going to. The Western Conference is just loaded. There are 12 teams, and all 12 of those teams are capable of getting in the playoffs and going on a deep run and having a legit shot to lift the cup at the end of the season over the Eastern Conference. Louisville, great. So that's who's in first place over there, or Charleston, one of them? They're 1 and 2.
It's
yes,
Charleston.
they are.
Charleston.
They are dominant. But you know what? Tampa Bay is horrible. Hartford's horrible. Rhode Island is bleh. So there's no cupcakes in the Western Conference. So
there really isn't.
Yeah.
So let's spin this positive, right? Orange County is looking ahead to their next match, which is the upcoming home match against Las Vegas Lights. Las Vegas is currently 1 point ahead of Orange County, sitting in 8th place in the Western Conference. So this is a legit opportunity for Orange County to jump back in to the playoff picture. They control that, and they have 2 games in hand on Vegas, on Lexington, who's just ahead of them. They have 3 games on hand on Monterey Bay, although, Monterey Bay, we just can't figure things out. So there's a good opportunity for Orange County to jump back up into that playoff picture and maybe reinvigorate the fans' confidence in the team. Are you confident, Brad, in this fixture? You're out of all of us, you probably know Vegas better than anything because you hear the news. You are local to the Vegas team. How does that matchup look for Orange County, and do you think Orange County can find some success against Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, 100% agree with you. Vegas is on a little bit of a downturn right now. A 0-2 loss to Sacramento at home on the weekend of July 4th, and then the following weekend, 4-3 loss to Tulsa, of which they had the lead none of the time that game, playing from behind. So Vegas is a little bit of a downturn right now. They're still a solid team. Last time we played them earlier in the season, it was a 1-0 heartbreak loss where Orange County really, I think, played a good game of keep away from Vegas. And Vegas, like we had predicted on the lead up into that game, play a counter-attacking game. And unfortunately for them, one counterattack led to a goal, and that was all she wrote against Vegas on the road earlier this year. I know we played them in the anti-Malort Cup. I don't remember the score of the game, but I also believe we lost that game, given just our standings in the anti-Malort Cup. So let's see if we can go 0-2 in the sweep this year, or we can dig ourselves out. I think the team's should be playing better, but there still is hope there.
So then I got to ask you this question, Larry. Brad brought up the fact that we lost the first league match against Vegas. Then we lost the what he calls anti-Malort Cup match to Vegas. Sounds eerily similar to Monterey Bay. We lose in league, we lose in cup, and then third time around, we lose. Do fans have to worry about that against Vegas at home this weekend? Are we scared?
Again, not scared. Not scared of anybody. Certainly not scared of Las Vegas. I don't think Las Vegas is really all that good of a team. We had an unfortunate break against them in the first match. In the cup match, I don't remember what happened except that we lost. I'm kind of anything that has to do with a cup and Orange County Soccer Club. That's not the USL Championship Cup. I just sort of I block out. I have selective memory in regards to that, especially this year. So no, not scared. Concerned because with losing Liam McKinnon, I know we've got some other injuries. We're going to have a bunch of kids on the bench again. And sorry, I had some sort of weird feedback there in my head for a second. We've been having trouble scoring goals. And when you lose a player like Liam McKinnon, who can put goals in the back of the net, he hasn't gotten a lot of them this season, but we know he's capable. So we've got to find a way to replace that, and just his physical presence on the pitch as well. And if he's not going to be around for 2-3 months or however long it's going to be, well, then that's going to, somebody's got to step up. And the players who are injured, when they come back, they've got to be able to be ready to step up. And the young guys who have been given a chance, they need to step up as well. And I think, we're going to find some diamonds in the rough here very soon.
Well, then, Larry, my big question to you is: do you like Orange County's chances against Vegas? Are you confident? Do you like their chances?
Yeah, I do. I feel like this team has been away from the champ for so long right now that they are itching to be back in front of the home crowd, and I think we're going to see a good show on Saturday night. And I feel like it's going to be a good game for us, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'm right. All we can do is hope, right?
Yeah. And see, Larry likes the chances. Hey, if you like our show, make sure you give us a like on social media, on podcast, on YouTube. Also share any of the stuff we have on social media, on podcast or on YouTube. Like us, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. It helps get our show out there to other people that maybe have not yet found us on here. So,
and don't forget 5-star ratings. Those help too.
Yeah, 5-star ratings are great as well. Although I'm never going to beg and ask you to give 5-star ratings. I want you to give your honest opinion on ratings. You don't have to do it just because Larry says so. Brad,
give 5-star ratings.
Brad, are you on the team Larry here? Do you like Orange County's chances against Vegas this weekend?
I am needing to see one player step up for me to be as confident as Larry. Given we're going to be down Stephen Kelly, given that we're down a bunch of players to injury, Liam McKinnon, and everything that's going on with the roster, I would like to see one player step up. And the two players that I would really like to see are more Mo Wartime. We've been seeing him in garbage time really excel. I know he started one game earlier in the season and I think played decently well in it, but I'd like to see more of him. And then Osman Silla, I think he is a extremely talented player who we can definitely see more of, and there's only good things to be seen if he can step it up in that midfield.
This is a big opportunity for some of these players like Mo War, Osman Silla, some of these other players that have been getting sparse time or getting what Brad called garbage minute time in matches. It's a good opportunity when you have Liam McKinnon now out for what sounds to be an extended time period. And obviously Stephen Kelly's not available this week for this next match. It's an opportunity for some of these players that maybe haven't been getting the playing time that they are desiring. And it's a chance for them to get that playing time. And let's see who steps up. Larry, is there anyone else, or do you agree with those names that you'd love to see them step up?
I would like to see both of them step up, but I would also like to see Ethan Zubak step up and get one, get two. We all know he's capable. We all know that he can put the ball in the back of the net. He has not done it at the pace that any of us hoped that he would. But there again, we're not even halfway through the season. He can still finish in double digits, and I would like to see him do that.
In the name of the oh so great Zubac believer, DK, he'll get there.
There you go.
Well, and I can't remember exactly when it sort of clicked for him last season, but it was roughly this time last season that he finally started figuring out how that ball gets in the back of the net.
It was when Danny took over.
We all know that he knows how to score, but for the first half of the season last year, he struggled a bit and then figured it out. Maybe he's just one of those players that's a second half of the season player that's when his time to shine is, or at least maybe during his time with Orange County. One more name I'll throw out there that I really am hoping I need to see something out of him, just because, yes, it's a younger player. Yes, there's been some moments of brilliance or some positivity, but it's time really. We need to see something, or maybe it's time to just assume it won't happen. And that's going to be one Cameron Dunbar. I want to see something out of this young guy. You got to remember, I believe he's only 22 years old still. So I think when you see and you hear Cameron Dunbar, because he's been around for 5-6 years locally, playing with Galaxy 2, playing, getting his shot at MLS, and then now with Orange County, that seems like someone that should be in his late 20s at that point. He's still only 22. And for most players at that age, you're still giving them that opportunity to develop and figure things out. Unfortunately, like I said, he's been around, especially in Southern California, for many years now. So I think the expectations are there needs to be that step up. And because there was that MLS pedigree, I think that's that extra sort of, we need to see it now rather than give it time to develop. I really am hoping that we can see that now. And it's not something that we have to wait another 3-4 years to see develop into a more consistent player. I love Cameron Dunbar. I love when, he seems to love being on this team. He loves playing in Southern California. And again, he has shown some brilliance on the pitch over the last, year and a half he's been with Orange County. And I just want to really see some more consistency. And being that we're struggling on the attack, I'd love to see that. And yeah, so we've got 4 names that we've thrown out there, I think, and all attackers. So I think that's where we all are wanting to see something. We want to see some of these attackers step up, and basically, really the way to look at it is every attacker on our team, if you're listening right now, every attacker on the team, we're struggling. You have the opportunity to grab this and take it. Make this yours. If you want to get the minutes, if you want to play a big role with Orange County, no one is right now. I think we can all agree. No one is penciled in for the remainder of the year, no matter what happens. I think we all can agree no one has taken the reins as that key attacker for Orange County, or the 2 key attackers for Orange County. Attacking players. If you want it, take it. This is your chance. Do it. I don't know why it's not happened yet. I went on a little rant there. Sorry. But that's just my thought process.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong there. We got to 14 games into the season, our leading goal scorer, Ethan Zubac, has 3. And then we've got a number of players sitting at 2, to include Cameron Dunbar and Nico Benalcazar. And yeah, we've got Ryan McKinnon. Somebody has got to just go out and put on a show. I'm not saying a Milan Oloski type of show, but put on a show. You just put some balls in the back of the net, fire up the crowd. Do it when we're down there, when the boys are going towards the CLC, so you can get those guys involved, because that's when it gets to be a lot of fun.
Let's do this quickly. Score predictions for the match at home against Vegas. Brad.
Ooh, 1-1. I think the wine event is going to lessen the nerves of a lot of fans in the stands, and hopefully some players in the field. But I hope the players aren't partaking, especially given our average age.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I would assume they're not allowed anywhere near that, regardless of their age on game day. Stay away from the wine at the stadium. Larry, your prediction?
I think we're going to bust it open. And I'm going to go ahead and take this hit. 5-0 Las Vegas.
Ooh.
Okay, Ray.
Wow.
No, I'm not insane. 3-1 OC.
Well, see, now that you played with all of that, now you just put a bad hex on the team by playing with that whole score prediction thing. My prediction for this match, we're going to go with a 2-0 Orange County victory. I want to get back on the clean sheet path, and we're going to see we're going to see one of our offensive players start to take the reins and take control of scoring and the offense on this team. Again, we need someone to do so. I don't know who it'll be, but someone will show that they really want it this weekend and maybe prove that they need the playing time and get the playing time.
I can tell you who it's not going to be.
Okay.
It's not going to be our guest.
Yeah, I hope if our guest is being put into a position to potentially lead our offense, then there's a lot more trouble on this team roster than we know about. Let's bring our guest on so you know who we're talking about. Our guest is going to be none other than the president of business operations for Orange County Soccer Club, Dan Rutstein. Dan, Larry called it out and said, we definitely know you're not going to be the one asked to sort of take control of the offensive attack for Orange County. Can we say Larry was correct on that?
Do you want a prediction for the scoreline for Saturday?
Give it to us, Dan.
Then I just never know like the rules of team staff or the team players or anyone.
I'll give you a prediction.
Go for it.
Brad is correct. No players will be at Winefest.
I mean, yay.
Wait. So we have to be a little worried because you noticed he did not answer the question about Larry's comment of whether or not he will be part of the successful attack for Orange County.
So I'm too offended to answer that question. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit older than I used to be, but the fact you can all laugh about the fact that I'm not good enough to play professional soccer, I think is slightly mean when I've come on as a guest on your podcast.
Yeah, but aren't you a goalie?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a couple of issues. One is I'm a goalie. Two is I'm nearly as old as Larry. So, it's probably for the best that I don't make the squad.
No, we appreciate you having some fun with us on those questions as we bring you on, Dan. Talk to us. How is the atmosphere on your end of things? It's been a while since we've had a home match. Obviously, when we have home matches, it means more work, more excitement for you and the staff. How are things going heading into this match this weekend?
Yeah, so it's a weird season. And obviously, you come to all the games, so you know this. So when casual people say to me sort of how often, new fans say sort of when do you play? You say the standard answer is sort of broadly every other Saturday between March and October. I wish that was so this year. So we had, as you remember, the season began with back-to-back-to-backs. And then we had another back-to-back after that. Then we didn't have a game for 5 weeks, I think it was. Then it's been 3 weeks. We don't have another Saturday game after this one for another 7 weeks because we've got 2 Wednesday games. Then we've got another weird 3-week break. And then we've got a game, and then we've got 2 in a row, and then we're done, plus playoffs, of course. So it's been a bit of a weird season. So these long periods in between games in between home games are a bit frustrating because obviously I think we said this on June 28th when we hadn't seen everyone for a while. We were talking about it in the office. We missed people. Like this is when you're a professional soccer team, the home games are a chance to come together with the fans, with each other. And I think it's been frustrating to not have a game. So we're excited to be back on Saturday. What we have done, though, is I think filled the time, I would say wisely, we're trying a few new things. I think at the beginning of the year when you had me on, I talked about always wanting to move forward from off the field. And we've tried a few new things. Obviously, you will have seen with partners, we redecorated what the GA looks like, and I think that's been a real success. But starting this week and running over the next few weeks, we're trying a few new events or events we haven't done for a while. I think I've said this to you guys before. In an ideal world, the theme for the match would be a soccer game, and we would fill up the stadium every week with soccer. But as you know, this is America. That's not how it works. Now, we're not doing a Hello Kitty night. We're not quite there yet, although I think that was one of the big wins for LAFC the other day. But we're taking a vineyard approach to Beer Fest. So we're having a crack at OCSC Uncorked Goals and Grapes, which I think might be fun on Saturday.
Can you expand a little bit about what that is going to be, Dan?
So people like booze. I don't know if you've realised this. People like drinking at our games. Responsible drinking, but still drinking nonetheless. And we've probably done 20 beer fests now, and we've had Vineyard say, could we come and do something? So we decided to build an event. So the similarity to Beer Fest is there's a pre-match drinking period, but there are some differences. So it's going to be a very, I think, how do you describe it? An elevated experience. So there's live music. It's going to be, the decor is going to be a little less beer and more wine. But we've got, I think it's 9 vineyards, 25 expressions. We're throwing in some tequila in there as well, just to keep people on their toes. But it's going to be it's still an Orange County Soccer Club event. So, it's still very football-y, but it'll be a nice wine event with a lot of nice local and regional wines. And just enough booze when you're unlimited tastings to get everyone ready to cheer the team on. So it's going to be this Saturday's. We were doing the planning meeting today. It's a bit crazy. The game is effectively. It's definitely going to be a sellout. It's just whether it's a sellout or a sellout. But between Winefest celebrating our partner Hogue, we've got some other surprises related to first responders. There's a lot going on. It's going to be a really fun, packed house, and hopefully the sort of game that you want and some of the results that you've been predicting.
Let me ask you a quick question, sort of related. How and when is the club going to help make Brad happy and the CLC happy, and we do a Malort Fest at one of the home matches?
Sorry, your camera just froze there. Try that again.
A Malort Fest.
Oh, no, it froze again. Sorry.
Okay. Next question, Dan. Let's talk a little bit about soccer, shall we? Even though you do the operation side of things, we still know that you are a fan of the game and a student of the game. Pro Rel finally coming to America. What are your thoughts on it? How do you think it's going to affect the team? How do you think it's going to help the team in regards to our Orange County community who could be a little bit apathetic towards their professional sports teams?
It's a good question. So I am indeed a fan of football. I am very excited about promotion relegation. It is something that I have wanted from the first time I stepped foot on these shores 11 years ago. As some of you know, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but I'm a fan of a team called AFC Wimbledon, and they have been promoted or relegated more often than your average team for a variety of reasons. And sort of the agony and drama and jeopardy and excitement that you get completely changes what football looks like. So you don't see it quite in the same way because it's not as obvious because there's no draft in football here, obviously. But we've all watched American sports teams take decisions at the end of the trade deadline to basically offload their best players and basically tank in order to secure better drafts. You've got end of season games that mean absolutely nothing. The keenness you feel in football. There was, I think, last year in the championship, with 3 games to go, every single team could have either gone up or gone down. So every game matters much deeper in the year. and I think that's really exciting. So I think there's a lot of different opportunities for us. Taking sort of both my bit of the business, but also Pete's bit of the business in no particular order. I think three things. So first of all, sort of commercial value. So the broadcast company's already excited about promotion relegation. They're used to broadcasting European games. They want to see promotion relegation in America. I think it would really set us apart from the MLS. Sponsors would be more interested. There'd be a lot more value. There would be, in a very American way, this sort of decision day sort of stuff. I think there'll be partners keen to spend money on it. So I think from a revenue point of view, more games are exciting. Sponsors would be more interested. There'd be more coverage. So I think that's all good from the sort of growth of the club. I think the second part is on the player side. So the sort of player development model, which, as you know, we have to an extent pioneered with the club. I think promotion relegation adds just extra levels to that. So I think you will see teams in Division 1, hopefully we'll come up with a slightly better name by the time they come up with it, but the top division, they'll be loaning out players to the bottom divisions to help them develop. The players will get used to playing in these relegation battles, in these promotion runs. I think will make them more appealing to European teams who might be signing players who are more used to it. I think it just gives extra layers. I think it makes the top division of USL more legitimate, and also the lower divisions more legitimate as potential development funnels as well. So I think it's going to be really good from player development. And then I think the third thing is, from a fan's point of view, I think it's going to be amazing. I think, obviously this is still America, so there'll be people who come to games because there's wine fest and pups on the pitch and gnarly bobblehead night, and that's fine. But there will also be people who are really excited, either hopefully because we are, like we sort of get at the moment with the playoff bubble, that we're fighting to go up, but also frankly there'll be seasons, because this is how football works, where we could play a game which could decide whether we're going to spend the next year playing against the teams we are. We could be dropping down to be playing, the Spokanes of the world. So I think that promotion relegation will make it more exciting for the fans. It will be easier for fans to engage with the club. So for those who like the football part, I think it will be really good. So overall, huge fan. I think it will do a lot for us. And a final word, between the Open Cup and the Jägermeister Cup, I think there's probably been, I'd say, 20 cup sets this year between either USL teams beating MLS teams, or even just in the West. I think Oakland have lost about 3 times to teams from League One. Obviously, we lost on penalties to Antelope Valley. It shows that there's an appetite for cross-league games, and that you never quite know what you're going to get. So I'm all for it. I think it's a great step forward and a real differentiator for the USL.
Yeah, I absolutely couldn't agree more. And I have said for many years, since I started becoming a soccer fan when I was living in Europe, until America gets promotion relegation, it's not going to be viewed by the rest of the world as a top soccer league, be it MLS, be it USL Championship, USL League One. It's not going to compare. It never will. It can't without promotion relegation. So, pups on the pitch. Is that really a good idea? And don't get me wrong, I love dogs. Do we want dogs on the pitch at halftime?
So to be clear, we are. I think we've announced it, but in one of these 2 upcoming Wednesday games, we're having a crack at pups on the pitch again, which I think we did years ago, but way before my time. But we are going to be doing. We're going to be having people can bring their dogs, so they're not allowed on the pitch. To be clear,
Okay,
during the game. To be clear, but we are going to allow some people to bring their dogs into the stadium. There will be pooper scoopers and safe places for the dogs to relieve themselves. And
with Gnarly's image on it, right?
I was going to say, I'm not sure I should be saying unfortunately, but we are not the first sports team in America to allow animals into the stadium. I think the Dodgers do it, Galaxy do it, Padres do it. So we are just another team allowing little canines into the stadium. So
Hey, look, I have a K9. She's sitting behind me chewing a bone nice and calm for once. I'm a little upset that it's a Wednesday game, given that I'm not in town, but I'm all for this idea. And just, I'm all for stuff like this. My brother's actually attending this Wine Week game for other reasons that I'll talk about in my random thoughts at the end of the show. But one of the big draws was, hey, we like wine. He likes soccer. Let's combine the two. So, although I do agree with you, it's a gimmick. It works, and it's necessary at this stage in American sports, especially football.
yeah, and look, maybe it shouldn't be the night. I also decided to do fireworks again, but I think it'll be really good.
I just want to ask one quick question about the pups on the pitch. Are you going to have a dedicated section where Gnarly will actually play with the pups and spend some time with the pups? I think that would be a really good idea.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll react to him. I imagine his fur might be wet by the end of the evening. I think we're gonna. There's lots of details to come out, but basically there'll be one seating section. So if you've got like a little lap dog and you want to bring it and sit in a normal seat, you can. But then part of the fan zone there'll be a dog area, which we have to sort of rope off so that dogs don't go too near the food because that's a breach of the health regulations. But yeah, Gnarly will definitely be interacting with the dogs. And for those who are on Instagram and follow our skipper, Tom loves a dog. He's got a dog that appears in all his Instagram pictures, and by all accounts, our gaffer Danny's a bit of a dog fan as well. So the players are all in for this. The thing I really wanted to do it, but I don't think we're going to do it. I think Sampdoria did it once, where the players came out holding dogs in the march out, and these are all dogs that you could be adopted. But I'm not sure we're ready to actually have players carrying dogs onto the field. But it will be, look. Like I said, it's how you do these things. I mean, I'm trying to think. That's the same night that we've also got in and out truck there as well. So you come for the double doubles and stay for the dogs, or the other way around.
Just make sure In and Out has the pup patties ready.
Do they? I didn't know they did that, but there you go.
I'm sure they do. I used to give my dog cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
Order a pup patty, and they just don't season the meat and just give you a piece of meat with no seasoning on it.
Well, there you go. Right, good. Well, I'll make sure that is available from there. I think they have a limited menu in the truck, but we can see what we can do. So look, this is how it works. I mean, you should see the ideas that we don't take forward, but we are keen to
share some.
A few
I know.
You got to tell us about.
I do want to see these ideas, Dan.
What is the weirdest idea that just you're like, this cannot happen? Is there any idea you can share with us that just does not make it past the thought process?
And likely won't make it.
Well, hold on. It's come up like 3 times in this chat. But not me, obviously, because I'm English. But you may remember the former president, Jeff Garner, who had a minor league baseball background. He was utterly obsessed with doing monkey rodeo. It got talked about regularly. I don't quite know how it works. I think it's monkeys on the backs of dogs or dogs on the backs of monkeys. I'm not quite sure which way around it, but everyone all dressed as cowboys. Anyway, needless to say, it did not happen. Although I did notice that, because I follow Jeff on Instagram and I follow the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and they did have a mini Kiss concert the other day, which, as you know, is a miniature version of Kiss, with little people as the Kiss performers. If you want that stuff, move to Pittsburgh and go and watch the Riverhounds. We try and keep it to just dogs and wine.
No more lucha libre pitch side, huh?
No, I think we're doing yoga on the pitch before the game. Oh, actually, Larry, do you still do hot yoga?
I occasionally, not like I was 2 years ago.
So this isn't hot yoga, but it's yoga and it will be hot. So it'll end up being a version of hot yoga. So for the first Wednesday game, we do have hot yoga, and we're doing a paint and sip night as well. So it's all happening.
Paint and sip.
It's all happening.
Hey, you know what? Again, Orange County sports fans, you can see it at Angel Stadium. You can see it at Ducks games. They tend to be a little bit apathetic. They don't show up on time. They leave early. So whatever the team has to do in order to bring more people into the stands, the product that Orange County Soccer Club and that James and that yourself and Pete have, and Oliver in his day, that product is what's keeping people coming back. And instead of having an average of 3,100 fans per game, we've got an average of 4,400, and it's whatever it takes to get them in the door. Hey, do it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the people write books about this. I still like my my favourite way to watch football, if I'm being completely honest, is to meet at the pub at 12 o'clock, drink until 2:40, run to the stadium, go through the gates at 1 minute to 3, watch the game, maybe have a pie at half time if the line isn't too long, and then go home. Like, that's how I was brought up. I tell you what, I would not want to run a football team in England. They shut the merchandise store during the game. People are not eating and drinking there because that's just not the tradition. So it's a very different business model. Obviously, over here, we try and do things. And we've done 2 new things this year, which I'm slightly biased, obviously, because I'm very involved in the decision making. I thought, this is setting aside the football part, but I thought Star Wars night was fantastic this year. The faces of fans, young and old, getting their pictures taken with those incredible people walking around as the variety of characters. The music we did that night, I thought it rained, which I think hampered the crowd a bit that night, but it was a lovely evening. And Christmas in June was like Santa Gnarly, the snow zone and the fan zone. Like, it's a bit odd. And like I said, they rather came for the football, but that's not how it works. And I think people came to that game. Now, it was obviously a weird game. We played the youngest team in club history and ended up beating a very disgruntled Sacramento team the average age was like 8 years older than our players. And I think they thought they were going to win. But even if we'd lost that game, there'll be loads of people who remember the snow and remember the gnarly Santa. And that's what it's all about, because frankly, whatever it takes to get people to come to games. So you guys will come, whether it's theme night or not theme night, you're just coming for the football. And obviously there's a big group of fans like that. But there are other people, and I do this on baseball games. I'll look around and think, I'm going to go to 3 Angels games this year. Some I just pick because the date's convenient, but there'll be other ones I'll be like, oh yeah, I quite fancy the drone show, or I've got a Millennium Falcon with the angel on the top. An angel with a Millennium Falcon on the top from the Star Wars night. I went to that game for that reason. That's how American sports work. So we've got to entertain people, whether they're here for the football or here for the bobbleheads or here for the snow or here for the wine. We just want people to come and watch the football.
Awesome. I got one question, and it's really not a question. It's more of a request. Look, we've had you on the show like 6 times now. A lot of times, I feel like we've asked you every single question that a front office person could ever answer and more. But one of my favorite things that I love when you come on the show is you tend to ask us some questions back. So I'm going to give you some time to ask us each a question if you so happen to have anything in the artillery there.
So thank you. I like asking.
I believe
I like asking people questions.
Oh no, I'm.
We good?
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, no, my computer messed up.
Okay, so my first question is, Brad, do you think you should buy a new computer? But
He's quick-witted, folks.
Let's start with Larry.
Nobody's going to understand that except me and you.
We've got a special relationship, Larry. Obviously, you're. This is quite a lazy question because you've just asked me this, but Larry, obviously you come for the football part of it. But what's the best theme night that you've been to at our stadium, and what's the best theme night that you've been to at a sports venue anywhere else in America?
The only sports venue that I would go to on a regular basis used to be the Angels, but that has been ruined by the front office as opposed to Orange County Soccer Club. So I haven't actually been to another sporting event outside of Orange County Soccer Club in like 5 years. When I was a kid, I used to love the 4th of July games at Angel Stadium or even Dodger Stadium. Very different fireworks show back in those days versus how they're doing it with the drones now. As for Orange County Soccer Club, yeah, Star Wars night. I mean, come on, I was 7 years old when that movie came out. Still, I own all 9 movies. I will go back and I will watch all 9 movies, and I'm going to throw Rogue One in there because that's the 10th movie that ties it all together. So Star Wars night, without a doubt, was a lot of fun, and I thought it was a really cool idea.
Excellent. Ray.
I'm scared.
So obviously, as you know, I podcast. It's more work than I think people realise. Now, obviously, you're a fan of the team. Why do you spend? Why have you made so much effort to make this podcast and try and make this podcast good, with all the other things you could do in the world?
Ooh, that's a fun question to ask, and I think I've shared the story of how this whole thing even started multiple times on the show. But I love sports. For those that don't know, I am a huge Clippers fan, and I actually used to write for a Clippers blog. And for a brief, 2-month period, I had started a Clippers podcast. And in that period, this was back in 2018, I went to my first Orange County match. It was against Phoenix in a match where it started raining in the 70th minute. We were trailing, and then I think they equalized as most of the fans were already driving away in their cars. After that match, I went to my ticket sales rep, which is Matt, so he's still with the club, and asked, hey, I do this. I've written for Clippers blogs. I'm interested in podcasting. What, is there any interest? Because I didn't see any coverage of Orange County. And I don't know if you're familiar already, back in 2018, I mean, there was literally no one covering except for Angels on Parade, which was part of SB Nation when they were still sort of old school SB Nation. And luckily, Matt got me in touch with the people that I needed to talk to at the club. They were all for it. We got things started, and I just somehow, some way convinced a young Dylan, who I think was 18 or 19 at the time, to be my co-host. We both didn't expect it to turn into this, where 7 years later, we have a bunch of people that are contributing to this, including producer Andy in the background, Brad, Larry, Dylan. We've had people like Taylor, DK, a bunch of stuff, written stuff. And the club's been nice enough to bring us guests as often as possible. And really, it's become a fun time. I think all of us talk about this multiple times. This is a fun time for us, an hour on a Tuesday night or whatever night we're doing the show, and get to talk about a team that we love and get to talk to people and get to talk with each other. And we've built a lot of friendships. And one of the friendships I can say is Brad. Brad was a Reno fan, and we met specifically because of our podcast, and he was doing a podcast for Reno. And because we're big on collaborating, Brad became a friend of the show. He actually chauffeured Dylan and I around on one of our road trips up to Reno. And then when Reno folded, we open arm welcome to this show. And he's been a big part of the show since. So I think, I know I said a short answer, but that is all why we still do this, and why I started it, why I continue to do it, and why I enjoy doing it still.
Excellent. And you do an excellent job. Before I do, Brad, is Andy allowed to talk, or is that not part of the rules?
If he rings the doorbell, he can. There he is.
Andy, who's your favourite player to have ever played for Orange County Soccer Club?
My favorite player ever played. Do I just get one?
Yes, that's why I said your favourite player.
Oh, I guess. I mean that's tough. I'm gonna say Dylan Powers, just because we were talking about the other day. He's like our cool uncle who backpacks through the Himalayas and comes back with melted snow from a glacier blessed by a shaman or something. He just seems like the cool uncle of the group. Close second is Aiden Quinn. I got to throw his name in there.
Yeah. Okay. Linked question: who's your favourite president of the business operations in the history of the club?
In the history, I think we've only had one. No, we've had two, huh? Jeff did bring me a lot of beer tickets.
Oh, simple
Monkey
blonde.
rodeo.
But I can't drink, and I'm gonna clearly say I can't drink anymore. I'm not allowed to drink anymore, so I'm gonna put you as my favorite.
I appreciate that.
Aw.
Thank you very much. Brad. Yeah. I'm not sure what to ask you, Brad. Okay, tell us what is your favourite thing about Orange County Soccer Club
You
and your
know,
least favourite thing about Orange County Soccer Club.
Ooh.
ooh, okay. The second part's a little spicier. Definitely the CLC. I grew up very not connected to a lot of American soccer, or really the sport in general. When I first joined kind of my first soccer community up in Reno, the Battleborn Brigade welcomed me with open arms. And it's very much the same with the CLC. While I think the CLC and supporter groups in general like to take things too far, I introduced them to Malort, and somehow they make cocktails out of it now, which I think is the most weird, disgusting yet wholesome thing I've ever seen. Some of the fans have Malort on their jerseys, which I think also is a strange obsession. But that's just sports fans in general, and to a community, American soccer fans. And that's one of the things I've really learned. I have a whole tub of scarves that a lot of the scarves in there I've traded with other fan bases. I have a San Diego Loyal scarf. I have multiple, Rip Fresno scarves, because that's just the fandom and how tight knit a lot of the supporter groups are. We don't have like ultras who go back and forth and cause harm to each other in most North American soccer, because we're kind of like a rare breed out here. Our sport's not popular enough to begin with, so there's a mutual respect even amongst the most bitter of rivals. Now, my least favorite thing, the team definitely has a tendency to follow up the most amazing highs with the lowest of lows. In the past, while I believe change is important, I think the team has gone through a lot of head coaches, some of which I think should have been given longer, some of which I think, uh, had the ability to perform, and injuries play a lot of it. And I know a lot of it is American sports demand results, and therefore, if someone's not producing, you got to just change the atmosphere there. But I think we've been very spoiled in the past with a lot of the head coaches that we've had, across the board. So a little bit of consistency doesn't hurt. But hey, we won a championship right after having a replaced coach, and then we went straight to the bottom of the league the next season. That's the seesaw that is the USL, and everyone can win any week.
Very good.
Can I just jump in really quick, Brad? Hey, it's not just American sports. Look in England. A coach leads a team to a cup, and then he gets fired. So I mean, it doesn't just happen in the U.S. where you just have changes for changes.
Yeah, and I mean, you obviously look around at Spurs, but Alex Ferguson was about 3 games away from being fired, and then he had a reasonable career, it'd be fair to say, after that, Man United. And they've had like 7 coaches since then. And if they'd given any of them as long as they gave Alex Ferguson, then maybe there'd be another era. But the world of sport has changed dramatically. I mean, we definitely don't take those decisions lightly about changing coaches, particularly, obviously, when it was our former captain, assistant coach, then coach who won us a championship. But sport is brutal, and players win things and then get cut. Coaches win things and then get cut. I mean, that unfortunately is the nature of sport, and sort of that's why we love it. But there's obviously a side to it that is a bit more brutal.
Like,
Well,
obviously, just following up, I 100% agree with you. Like, you asked me to give what I thought was the worst part of the team. I think, very politically stating, that is my least favorite part, but that's just sport, and I recognize that. And the days of giving all the time in the world, a la Ferguson, are no more. People are very results oriented now.
Yeah.
and let's just say it's easier to fire one coach than it is to switch a 20-man roster and bring in a whole new roster. It's easier to deal with the one coach, which it sucks from the coaching aspect of it. Is you're sort of responsible even if the roster isn't up to par. But I mean, just be realistic. It's easier to switch coaches.
Yeah, I mean, look, results is everything, performance is everything. Every time I come on this show, I know this could be my last time I get invited on. It's just sports is tough.
It's
Well,
funny.
especially
Ray says the same thing.
Well, Dan comes on and asks the tough questions, man. We're going to be scared to invite him on because we're going to be scared for those tough questions.
You think those were tough? Those weren't tough.
Dan, any last message for any of the fans that are making it out this weekend or the remainder of the season?
So look, whether you like wine, first responders, dogs, yoga, painting and sipping. What else have we got? Beer Fest. We've got another Beer Fest.
Monkey
Fan Fest.
rodeo.
Monkey Rodeo to be confirmed. And we're working on another couple of other events, some food related. Wherever your reason, or even if you just like watching football matches, please come and watch us. This Saturday's going to be a sellout, which will be our 5th of the year, which would be the most regular season sellouts we've ever had. As we had 2 years ago, we had 5. And we've still got 7 matches to go afterwards. We're going to sell out more than half our games this year. And that's because whatever reason you come, you come. So please keep coming. I can't guarantee you what will happen on the field, but I can guarantee you that we are going to do our very best to make sure off the field that you are entertained and safe and enjoy it, and you can have a nice family-friendly trip to the football, whatever the reason it is that you're going.
Love it, Dan. I love it. Before we let you go, we're gonna include you in this tradition of our show. We're gonna go into random thoughts, and if you don't know what a random thought is for our show, Brad's gonna start off with random thoughts.
And this one, I got to put you on the spot too. So I alluded earlier, my brother's going to be at the game. One of the reasons he's going to be at the game is the team has a new PA announcer coming up this week by the name of Steven Weinberg, who's making his debut. So I think that's random. I think that's cool. Steven's a great guy. He's going to absolutely kill it. But Dan, I would like, if it is your side of the business that hosts this, maybe we can have him on the show one day to tell us about kind of a PA announcer's POV. If not, hey, I get it. That's just the business.
That's not a question, so okay. Good thought.
Oh, can we please have... I'm just kidding.
Dan, do you have a random thought you want to share with our listeners? And I only ask because I know you have a lot of random thoughts that go through your head. You definitely like to talk, so I figured you have something.
Sorry, it's a lesser random thought, more random statement. So we do a lot of rewarding people internally in the office. So we do an employee of the fortnight that I run for my front office, and whoever gets it wins a prize, which is something from one of our sponsors. So it could be Raising Cane's voucher, a Taqueria Oy voucher, whiskey, tequila, beer. Anyway, so we do this every 2 weeks. Somebody won today, and they chose. What did they choose? They chose wine. They actually chose because it's uncorked. But we also sometimes I do little internal things for fun. We ran a competition last week for the last game. Sorry, we asked staff internally to predict how many fans were going to come, what the single game ticket sales would be, how many Christmas burgers we would sell, a whole load of other stuff. We did a little internal competition. And I've just come back from a week in England, so I gave out the prizes this morning, and everybody got, the 6 winners of the predictions, all received an AFC Wimbledon pen. So,
I'm sure they were
you
stoked.
can't accuse me of not being generous. And B, I thought you should know that they are being rewarded with, some regard as the ultimate pen in football is the AFC Wimbledon pens.
Now, is that a pin or a pen? PEN
Pen.
or PIN?
Pen. Yeah, I mean, pins are fine, but you can't write with pins. I want my staff to work, so I got them pens, AFC Wimbledon pens.
Okay.
That's the ultimate prize, Larry, or Babe. I'm sorry, Babe. You have a random thought?
Don't get in on mine and Dan's relationship, Ray. You're not invited on that part.
I'm just reading your name on the screen.
Sorry, can I?
Who changed that? I didn't do that. Oh,
Can I
you know what? Producer Andy did it. We'll talk about that, Andy. Go ahead, Dan.
Can I do one more random thought, which
Of
is not
course.
actually random at all? So I was, we did something today which was inspirational, and it's really nice when you run a football team. Obviously, you see fans at the game, and it's nice to talk to them. But every so often, you have a moment which makes you realise A, how privileged you are to work for a football team, but B, to really understand what the team means to people. So, as you may remember, we did a fan ownership scheme. And we now have nearly 2,000 owners of the club. And if you invested above a certain level, one of the things you get for investing above a certain level is invited to watch, exclusively invited to come and watch a training session and then have lunch afterwards. And we're running these at the moment. And so we did one today. I think it was about 20, 25 people were there. And I got to talk to people. There was a kid who'd saved up his pocket money to invest. Obviously, Larry was there today as well. But there was a guy who was a San Diego Loyal fan, and after they went bust, he liked our club and he became an owner of us, never been to a game. There was another family season ticket holders. There's another guy who hasn't been to a game. There's an OCFA firefighter who flew helicopters over where my house was nearly burnt down during the fires, which was very nice to talk to, who was saying how much they love the club, but they only get to go to the games once or twice a year. And after the event finished, everyone came up to me and said how amazing it was to be invited to watch a training session. Because it's not, I get to go whenever I like, but it's not something you get to see very often. And that sort of behind the scenes insight of a team that they own, be a small part of, and the response they had to coming and to talking to Danny was really affirming on like the power of sport to do good, what it can mean to people, what a little bit of access and community can do for people. So this isn't a particularly random thought. This is a very well thought out thought, but it was great. Like it was a really great. It was 3 hours out of my day in a game week, which is quite a lot. And it was so well used by me to meet all those people and hear those stories. It makes all of this, what you do, what we do, all makes worthwhile. Like sports more than just a game of football. And it was lovely to speak to these people and understand why they became owners. So that was my sort of inspired day today, meeting real fans and owners of the club.
There we go. Larry, random thought?
Yeah. I'm going to talk very, very quickly because what the hell is wrong with SDFC? How are you going to terminate the loan of the top scoring American in Major League Soccer because you don't want to pay him the money that he is so deserving of? San Diego, y'all can't get anything right. Y'all know I don't like the Dodgers, but San Diego, you're the unwanted stepchild baseball team, and you are the unwanted stepchild MLS team because how are you not going to sign a guy and build around a guy who is a hometown guy? San Diego FC, I hope you're listening right now. I'm talking to you. You screwed this one up, and Milan Olaski is going to blow up after what he did these last couple of months in MLS. So there you go. That's my random thought.
Random thought for me? I don't know. Monkey Rodeo, I guess. I think the fans are going to start demanding it. You might see some posters with written Monkey Rodeo at the stadium, Dan. So be on the lookout for that. Dan, as always, thank you for spending some time with us. We appreciate it, and you spent some extra time with us this evening. We appreciate all the time you spent, and hopefully, let's get the sellouts going, man. Let's have some fun at the stadium.
Great. I'll see you for a glass of wine on Saturday.
Awesome. Again, everyone, President of Business Operations for your Orange County Soccer Club, Dan Rutstein. Thank you, Dan. With that said, we went into extra time, and we're not going to go into PK. So we're going to actually, and I'm sure Brad will be excited about this, we're going to skip what did we learn this episode, because I don't know, unless you have something you learned that you really want to share, but I doubt it.
The answer is monkey rodeo, and there's no other answer to that question for this
There
week.
we go. And with that said, I want to thank my co-hosts, Brad and Larry, the bearded one babe, also producer Andy, our guest from Orange County Soccer Club, Dan Rutstein, and all of y'all that listened and participated in the show in the chats. Thank you so much for doing so. With that said, this is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, and we are out.